What's up? This is Alaric Ong, and today I'm here with Joshua B. Lee, and he's known as the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn and author of Balance is Bullshit. Joshua B. Lee is an entrepreneur, business owner, author, keynote speaker, coach, husband, and father. In 2003, he built his career in online marketing with clients such as MySpace, Yahoo, and Google, managing over $500 million in advertising spend and controlling over 35 trillion online impressions. He has built 16 companies from online marketing to coaching to web design and more, but is most passionate about human connections. His current venture, Standout Authority, is about humanizing your professional brand on LinkedIn through authentic and inspirational engagement. Clients have included Dan Sullivan, Joe Polish, John Maxwell, along with companies such as Gartner, Oracle, and ADT. So Joshua, maybe you can share with us like how do you get started this journey and take it from there, buddy.
Yeah, of course, man. It's great to be here. I'm excited to be able to, spend time and be able to go through all this and, really, share my journey. Where do you want me to start?
How do you get started in online marketing? Maybe I'm a Facebook marketing coach myself. So how do you get started
Yeah,
in this whole digital marketing game?
of course, man. It was funny. It was by pure luck, I'll be honest. Prior to that, my first company in the online advertising space happened in 2002. Prior to that, I was working in the broker space. I was doing, mortgage loans, things of that nature. And I felt I needed to get out of that space. It was well before 2008 when we had the market crash here in the United States. And, I saw the writing on the wall because in that industry there, people were actually, especially I had moved from Texas out to California to be able to open up a brokerage there. And people were, buying their homes for 200, 300,000, whatever it might be, but they were refinancing their homes every year for 100%. And so they were actually owing more on their home every year. So like you would start off paying 200,000 and now they owed 700,000. I'm like, this is going the wrong way. This is bad. There are people, like I would say, run over their own grandmother to close a loan. They just treated people with disrespect. And I just didn't like that. So I left that industry and I had a friend of mine that was in the online ad space at that time early on, had brought me in. And I kind of learned a little bit about it. I mean, this is back when Alexa was actually the Alexa list, actually going through and, talking about, you go in there, it was how they rank websites, like number one from 10 million and all these kind of things like that. And I would go through and go to every single website and, send a message really quickly. Hey, this is Joshua B. Lee. I just wanted to see how your online advertising is doing on your site. If I could make you $1 more than you're making now on your advertising, I'm going to make you more money. And if I can't, I'm going to prove to you that you're making the most money you're currently making. I would send out about 1,000 of those emails a day. Wow. You know how many times I got blocked on blacklists on emails? And it was great. It was crazy, and I that's kind of how we started. And then things changed. 2003 was an interesting year because next thing we know, I'd built a good reputation, taking care of people, doing that kind of thing, being someone they could trust because there was a lot of people in that world. And I built a relationship with a company that most people forgot about, which you heard about, which is MySpace. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you ever had a MySpace account, it's been gone for a while. So, it shows my age and those kind of things like that. But, and as I look back, myself and my company, we actually helped design, and I forget this at times, we actually helped design some of the first social media ads ever in history. Mm-hmm. MySpace actually put the first social media ads up, and I was actually pivotal in some of that design with them as one of their partners. We used to monetize all their traffic. So it's crazy to be able to see, like, we built some of the first things that what everyone uses now, right? So that's kind of where I got started. And then it kind of took off from there because we had relationships. We were doing arbitrage back then, buy low, sell high. We took all the traffic from MySpace, bought it for, we got it from them for like 1/10 of a penny. And then we turn around and sell it to Overture, which became Yahoo, and sell it to them for $100. And we take that margin.
And so how many X return is that? Buy the traffic from MySpace and sold it to Overture.
We were doing a couple $1 million a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In my early 20s, we were doing a couple $1 million a month, and it was pretty crazy to be able to kind of, and it's good and bad. In my as a guy in my early 20s, we don't know what the hell we're doing, and
Okay.
it was a wild ride. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes, and I luckily made it through the other side where I'm here today. I mean, there's different trials and tribulations that I went through throughout that time frame that has allowed me to be in the LinkedIn space now, and have been, again, this is not a title that I just made up myself, that was given to me, which was the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn. Really trying to get away from the traffic side, because I controlled a lot of traffic on our servers. And the one thing I learned was that most people don't know the difference between traffic and true engagement. And that's where I had to be able to shift. I had to be able to flip and actually get into not worrying about the algorithm with Facebook or with Instagram or with LinkedIn, but worrying about the human algorithm. And after you actually understand how the human algorithm works, you're not dictated about when Google puts out a new algorithm. You're not dictated about any of those things. And you're actually connecting on a human basis and educating, inspiring, and drawing in your audience rather than ever having to sell them. So that's kind of what we do now. We build
I'm writing the note,
relationships.
and you mentioned you were getting like traffic. Okay, so I'm just like going back slightly.
Yeah, go back, man. I jumped around.
So you bought traffic for 10 cents from MySpace, and you sold it for
No,
$100.
a tenth of a penny.
Or a tenth of a penny.
0.001.
0.001. Okay. Set. Okay, a tenth of a penny. And sold it for,
That was 100 pennies to make one. That was 100 of those to make 1 penny. 100 clicks would cost us 1 penny.
100 clicks will cost you 1 penny. Okay. And you sold it for $100. The same click.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. And why wouldn't
And we would make that
Overture
margin. This is very similar to Warren Buffett, right? They do arbitrage in the stock market. They buy stock low and buy companies low, and then turn around and sell it when it's high to be able to make that margin on the money. We were just doing it in a different fashion.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like a 1,000 or 100,000% ROI, isn't it?
It is. Now, we did have partnerships. Again, MySpace, even though we were controlling that traffic, we did have partnerships with them where we cut them in on that as well, outside of just that. But the margins were phenomenal. This is the old days when no one knew anything what was going on. We were making up the rules as we went along. There was a lot less rules back there because we were making them up. So, and good or bad, we are where we are today because of some of those things that we were doing back then 20 years ago.
So how many business partners do you have?
Well, right now I have one. I've built 16 different companies. Through mine, I built up different companies in every acronym you could think of, right? CPC, CPA, CPL, CPM, all and for everyone that's listening, if you don't know these, cost per lead, cost per acquisition, cost per 1,000, this is all just different traffic pieces that we went through, right? And so we would go back through these, and I mean, I built multiple companies in those different spaces, leading all the way up to, really about 7 years ago. And the biggest thing about that when 7 years ago was I went through a life reset. Building all those companies, I built them because of the money I could make with them. And that's the wrong outcome, because what that pushed me and put me into was it made me have 3 things specifically. It made me be overweight. I actually was about 40 pounds heavier than I am now. It allowed me to have friends that were monetary. Mm-hmm. And it allowed me to have no vision of where I was going. I just knew where I was at, because everything was work or play, trying to have this whole work-life balance. And it was destroying me. And I remember going to my office at home, which I used to always keep open because I wanted to have those doors open for my kids to be able to hear the things that I would say. And at one point, those doors closed. And when those doors closed, that office not only became a sanctuary, but a coffin for me at the same time. And it was so dramatic in that fashion where I contemplated my life and if it was better for me and for my family, for me not to be on this planet. And I made the decision. I had friends of mine that gave me the power to be able to make a better decision than that, which was allow myself to have a life reset. My ex and I we had a different point in our life, and I walked away at 36 with a little bit under $1,000 to my name. I closed down all 10 of my companies. I hadn't worried about money for many years. And I gave all my money away in the divorce. I didn't have to, I just did because it was faster. Because I value time over money because I can always make more money. I can't get more back. I can't make more time. And I moved back in with my parents. And I reset my life. And I realized that I wanted to be able to do something.
So you're making $2 million a month, and what happened that caused you to have only $1,000 to your name at 36 years old?
It was a divorce. I needed to walk away. My lawyers at that point in time told me that, Josh, going through this, it could take 3 years. I didn't want to give up 3 years of my life and put my kids through that. So I walked away from it all and restarted my life. And I decided I wanted to do something better. And so that's where my current company was developed and born, Standout Authority. So, yeah.
So what's Standout Authority about? Maybe you can share with the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, as I said, we build high value relationships for our clients. We do that through the vehicle of LinkedIn. And so that's kind of how we do it. And I mean, I've been blessed to be able to have clients that I used to read their books on how to be able to start my own companies 20 years ago. And now those people that I held up as my mentors are now my clients. And it's been really amazing to be able to do that because I wanted all that traffic that we did, all those advertising. I'm not sure how much I actually really sold or how much I really helped people with those different products. I just know that I sold the traffic. And so what we do now is we actually go through on our clients and in LinkedIn, man, that platform, if you know how to use it right, the organic reach on that platform, I know you do the Facebook side, but this is organic reach on LinkedIn is like Facebook, like 2008. It is amazing when you actually play in that realm well. And we go through and help our clients educate, inspire, and draw in their ideal audience without ever having to sell them, allowing people to become clients and allow them to be able to make money as a byproduct, right? Going through to build advocates first and allowing that byproduct to become clients. And it's awesome to be able to do. And we have amazing results and have amazing clients because of it. And I'm just trying to, do my part to change what I started many years ago in the social media and advertising space. And I have to feel I had a hand in the way that where we're at. And so I need to be able to have a stronger hand and where we're going to go for the next 20 years.
So have you run LinkedIn ads before?
I have. Yeah. We actually, with our clients, run 0 LinkedIn ads.
Okay.
Now I know how to do them. We can do them, but we don't have to use them. It's all about engagement marketing.
Mm-hmm. But so can you elaborate more on engagement marketing?
Yeah,
how is it different from
here's the thing, man. So we've been conditioned over the last 20 years. If you've watched on Netflix, they have The Social Dilemma. It came out, teaches everyone. We've been conditioned by all these social media companies to like, comment, post, share, like, comment, post, share. We're in this constant, conditioning of just going this constant cycle of like, comment, post, share. What we do is we help people be able to create stopgaps in that pattern. And that's the only way people can really hear you, when you actually create a stopgap in a pattern. And so I start with appreciation, right? A lot of the stuff that we do is just things that my mom taught me how to be able to do when I was a kid, how to treat other human beings. So when someone looks at your profile on LinkedIn, when someone engages on your content on LinkedIn, we reach out and go, hey, I noticed you looked at my profile. I just want to take 2 seconds to say thank you. Too often we don't appreciate this. I'd love to be able to connect with you and find out what pushed you to check out my profile. Or same thing hey, I noticed you engaged on my content. We're thanking someone for something they've never been thanked for. we're appreciating something. Like, when's the last time someone reached out to you and was like, man, I just want to reach out to you, send you a personal message. You liked my Facebook post the other day, and it just maybe I wanted to take 2 seconds out and say thank you. It just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need that human element. We're seeing that with Clubhouse right now. I mean, people are over themselves. I mean, I'm spending hours on there connecting with real individuals live, with audio, and it's real and raw. And I mean, we're seeing that massive shift, from other platforms as well too, like LinkedIn. The other point of it that we do, and there's a process that we go through afterwards, but the other process as well is, man, we're going through, like, if I asked you, why does every single person in this world post online? First and foremost, above all else, what would you say? Why do you think everyone, I don't care who you are, what country you're in, there's one reason above all else.
To get attention. It's an attention economy.
It is and it isn't, right? Really, and this is why I have my name, and I've been given that name, is it's for that hit of dopamine we all get when we get that engagement on our account. First, we don't even realize we've been conditioned to look, do we get any likes? Did anyone comment on our post? Do we get any likes? All that other stuff is after that. And so that's what we do. We become dopamine dealers because that's a human element. And we go through, if it's your post, let's say you're my ideal audience, right? I've identified you through Sales Navigator. We use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is their built-in CRM system. And we use it not as a marketing tool, but as a social listening tool, because everyone's posting and it tells me who's posting. And I'll go on there for not myself, for my clients, and I'll say, oh, I'll like their post, my ideal client. I'll comment on their post, and I'm going to reach out and send them a message. Same thing I started with before. Hey, I saw your recent post on LinkedIn. Man, awesome content. There's all kind of different, but we're speaking conversationally. Really appreciate the value out there. There's so much junk content, and you're really stepping it up there. I'd love to be able to connect with you because I see a lot of alignment. It's more human. So everything we do is start with appreciation. Appreciate people from checking out your content, checking out your looking at your post, looking at your profile, and we start there. Now, I'm happy to be able to share the rest of the stuff, but I want to make sure I'm not talking the whole time, and I give you a chance to jump in.
Sure, you can share everything. Yeah, because I think I probably use the same thing on Facebook as well. So for me, I call it the Apollo method, where I message people on Facebook, and I'm able to set like 3 to 4 appointments every single day. This was when I was 18 years old. I built a sales team of like 140 people just by texting 3 to 4 people every single day. And it's a very, very similar script, just like do it on Facebook. Yeah. So
that's the whole thing, right? On the strategy that we go through, LinkedIn's the vehicle we use, but you can go through and use the human element. Like, there is no B2B or B2C. Those are just marketing terms that guys like me, designed years and years ago, decades ago. There's only H to H, human to human, right? Every business is run by another human being. Most marketers just forgot that. And so this is that big thing that you have to be able to take in, and everything that we do, you can take across, you can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on TikTok. You can reach out to your people that are engaging with you and reach out and say, hey, just want to take 2 seconds. Thank you. Thank you because the only reason we become influencers, the only reason people, that we've been put, the only reason I'm on this podcast with you is because of all those people that have liked my content, listened to what I put out there, followed what I did. And most times they're underappreciated. The people that are listening on this podcast right now, thank you for listening. I appreciate you, right? They probably don't hear that enough, but that's the reason why you have this podcast, because of these listeners. So we start off with that, and you can do that across platforms. Now, we do it a little bit different on LinkedIn too after that. Most people are like, oh, it's a business platform. I'm there to get leads. They go into their pitch. Yeah. My mom always taught me, man, when I meet someone new, you got to give them a compliment, right? Like, man, this is great. Love it. I appreciate you. Great shirt, nice hat, cool shoes, whatever it is, right? Love the car, all these kind of things. Well, on LinkedIn, I look at it as a compliment, as giving someone an endorsement. Yeah. So we go through, we connect with them. We reach out, appreciate them. Then we connect with them. And then we go there and give them a compliment by giving them an endorsement. Cool thing about this is LinkedIn makes it super easy to come back in and go, hey, thank you so much for endorsing me. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the endorsement on LinkedIn, right? Like, LinkedIn endorsement. Is that
That's on LinkedIn. Yeah, yeah. So this is on LinkedIn. And once we get that endorsement, we get that compliment. We're going through, and people go back, they hit the button, they say, hey, thank you for giving me the endorsement. My mom always taught me too, never give unsolicited advice, right? Don't just tell people what you think they need. You can sell them what they think they need and give them, sell them what they think they want and give them what they need. But you can't just give them advice if they've never asked you for it. People don't like that. So when someone engages me, the first thing I do is go and they say, thank you for endorsing me. No problem. Happy to do it. Quick question for you. This is where we can ask a qualifying question to be able to ask more about them. Because when they respond back to that, then we can provide value that then pulls them in to want to work with us because they're listening, because we treated them with respect the entire time. And we've done this as fast as 7 days. It's not, we're not talking about like overnight you're going to have another lead, but this is building short tail, and it also builds long tail opportunity because you're treating people with that respect. And even if they're not ready for you now, because you went through it in a human level and you treated them like another human being, when they are ready, they're going to work with you. And even if they're not ready, they're going to tell their friends about you because you made them an advocate because you treated them right.
Got it. So, okay, just to recap. So it's compliment, engage, endorse them, and then...
Well, it's appreciation. So we appreciate for some type of engagement, theirs or ours, right? And then we reach out to be able to connect and say thank you with that appreciation. And then we need to give an endorsement. Once they respond to that endorsement, we ask them a qualifying question. And after that qualifying question, we provide value. That might be, wow, that's great to be able to, I really appreciate that. I'd love to invite you to my exclusive webinar that's coming up because I think it's going to add a lot of value to you, right? We're pulling them off platform. Now we can be able to do either pixeling, we can follow through, we can go that. Hey, it's an amazing way of thinking. I'd love to be able to understand your thought process around that. Do you have 15 minutes to tell me more? When you ask someone to do that and get on a phone call and they talk about what's going on in themselves, the cool thing about human nature, and remember, I follow the human algorithm, is that when someone talks for a long time about themselves and they just met the other person, even be it phone call, in person, whatever, they go, oh, I just told you all about me. What do you have going on? Now every wall they put up of being sold is down and they invited you in and they're listening. Yeah. And it's amazing the conversion ratio for that to be. Or let's just say at the end of that, you can send them a download. You want them on your email list, after the qualifying question. Hey, that's an amazing way to be able to answer. I've got this white paper. I've got this PDF. I've got this ebook. I'd love to be able to share with you because it really goes hand in hand with your way of thinking. Like the qualifying question we always ask too is around mindset. It's not like, are you making enough money in your business, right? One of the best questions I ever put together was, do you consider yourself an entrepreneur or a business owner with an entrepreneurial mindset? Now, there's a huge difference as you're in the business for long enough. Entrepreneurs, you're hustling all the time. It's great, but you'll burn out if you try and be an entrepreneur your entire life. So it shows they're early in the career. Business owner with an entrepreneurial mindset, that means they've evolved. They put a team around them. They're farther along in their career. Or we've got answer C, which is not even stated. Neither. I work for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And those are the ways that you can be able to understand where they are in their journey to be able to provide the right value. Is it a phone call? Is it a webinar? Is it a download? Just to be able to draw them in by giving and educating them enough to be able to want to make that decision to work with you.
So you do a high ticket, like do you do high ticket coaching, is it? And you coach people on LinkedIn marketing?
We do. So we've got a master class that we take everyone through. But we also we have an agency, right? So with our clients that we work with, like some of the ones that you mentioned earlier, we actually come in and we're the agency. We become them as best we can. Like we haven't lived their lives and we haven't run their businesses. So we can't be them without them, right? We don't have it done for you. We have it done with you. So we work with them to be able to get their voice and be as authentic as possible to be able to truly connect with their audience. And we handle all that aspect for them on the backside. Because it's hard, man. On our agency model, man, we're going and engaging on 100 people. We're commenting, liking, and reaching out to 100 people a day. We're going through and endorsing 100 people a day and then having all that messaging on the backside. I'm going to be honest, like it's a full-time job for someone to kind of come in and do it. You can do the basics of that and you'll get some results. But if you want high level results, they're going to build high level, relationships. It's hard to be able to do. It's a full-time job.
So you hire a VA, kind of like a virtual assistant, to help
You
them
can,
to
yeah.
endorse and using
We've
the
had
accounts that
people
we
go
got
through our
from-
master class where we teach them how we do what we do. And, they'll have their VAs go through it and be able to learn how to be able to do that for the company. Or again, we have real human beings on our side, real people that, aren't VAs from anywhere. They're actually our team and that are doing all this messaging on the backside. Because LinkedIn, if they find, it's different than Facebook, right? Facebook, you can have bots.
Yeah.
LinkedIn doesn't allow automation. If they catch you using automation, they will kill your account. So many automation tools are constantly updating daily. Yeah.
There's like Leonard on LinkedIn, or there's
On
some
LinkedIn.
software that you can connect with people automatically.
And if you use that software and you get caught using that software, you're going to risk your account because LinkedIn will shut your account down forever.
I see. Yeah.
So we have real human beings on our side, man.
Yeah. Okay. And so what are the kind of results that you have gotten for your clients or yourself using this method?
Most of my clients have products and services that range anywhere from $5,000 a month to $50,000 a month. So we're going through it. I mean, we have, our close rates based on outreach to be able to close range anywhere from 30 to 40%. So, we've had clients at, $50,000 products. We're going through and we're being able to close, fairly, if you want to talk high ticket, $50,000 a month is fairly high ticket. So,
it's very high ticket.
and we're not doing any advertising. So, we're going through to be able to do this process. We're not, as I said, we're not a lead gen company. So we're not just going through and we're not messaging 1,000 people hoping for that one sale, right? We're building relationships because if you message 1,000 people just by spamming them, all you're doing is pissing off 999 people to get that one sale. There's a better way. And you as well, like me, there's a better way to do it.
There is, yeah. Like for me, I would just build rapport with them and then, get to know them better before I decide what I want to pitch them, rather than like copy and pasting the whole thing. Like when I see a long message on LinkedIn, like someone just copy and pasted and cookie cutter, that just turns me off so much.
Short and sweet, man. Facebook, people are spending 17 minutes an hour on Facebook because what they do, a lot of times people go to Facebook to lose themselves in other people's lives. On LinkedIn, the average user spends about 17 minutes a week. That's a massive difference. 17 minutes an hour versus 17 minutes a week. So people are going there to either get educated to make a decision or to be able to go there to be able to find the information to make it, are ready to finalize the decision. They're going there to be, to be able to make decisions. LinkedIn is the most trusted platform out there. 80% of all B2B leads to B2B websites come from LinkedIn across all social media platforms. Now, all leads on all platforms, if you looked at all, not just B2B leads, but all leads across the board, across social media platforms, research has shown 40% of all opportunity off of social media comes from LinkedIn. That means only 60% of the rest of the opportunity is being split between the other platforms on high-end, high-ticket items.
I see. Okay. And so do you charge your clients based on a profit share or like a flat retainer fee, or how do you normally?
We have retainer fees, right? I mean, we don't go through, I'm not looking at based on the different sales. We go through and we have two different levels, either a done, we call it done with you and done for you, but it's still all done with you. All right, we have our done with you service where we're just going back through on the back end side and we're doing all that engagement for you, right? But we require our clients at minimum to be posting one post a day, right? Because we need to be able to post clear, consistent content on a regular basis. Because if you're not doing that, if we're gonna make you, we're doing influencer marketing at the same time, right? We're creating you as an influencer with our clients if you're not already on the platform. And we need you to be educating that audience on a regular basis. Or if you don't have the team, you don't have the time or the effort to be able to build the content, we'll do it. We have our done for you service, whereas we'll curate your content. We're not going to create it. We're going to curate it. And there's a big difference, because I can't be you without you. You've heard me say that before. So I need to be able to have access to your content vault, and we'll post the content for you, but we're going to curate it to make it specific for LinkedIn, because we know how to be able to adjust that content and to make sure that it gets massive engagement and massive reach.
I see. Content.
So those are the different levels that we work with. We have our masterclass, we have our done with you, and our done for you. Those are the only ways that we work with our clients.
So like, what are your plans for 2021? Like, for your own business?
2021, man. I mean, we're expanding and growing. We're having amazing times. I'm speaking on Brian Lee's stage this weekend, having conversations with people like Grant Cardone to be able to speak at 10X. You know, me personally, you're going to see me out on other podcasts, sharing, talking about what we do, because I usually sit behind the scenes, right? Before 2021, everyone that we work with only knew about us because they were referred to me personally. I only work by referral only. Well, I've realized too, at this point in time, there's too much bad information and too many people offering bad services out there around LinkedIn. And I can't do that anymore. I can't allow that anymore. And I've got to be able to be more vocal about my why. My why is to be able to, you know, help all marketers be more human online again, to remind everyone how to be more human online again. So for me to be able to do that, I get the honor to be able to spend my 2021 being on shows like yours, man, being on stages, finding more podcasts to be able to share and be able to educate those audiences. That's what I'm doing all year, man. You're gonna see me all over the place, and it's January, man. You're at the top of the list of the people that are gonna be pushing this out, man. So I appreciate you for, you know, allowing me to be able to share my message.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about Clubhouse? How do you view that this platform as a business tool or as an entertainment tool?
If you're not on Clubhouse, right now, you're missing out. We have seen massive opportunity to be able to come from that, even to LinkedIn. My LinkedIn profile has had and LinkedIn doesn't directly connect to Clubhouse yet. My LinkedIn has had a 200% profile visit increase. 200%. I already get a lot of visits. That's a massive shift. You know, we're seeing massive shifts on Instagram, on Twitter, all that kind of stuff, because that's where they link off of. I was having a conversation with Pete Cashmore the other day on Clubhouse. He's the co-founder of Mashable. And he was saying, look, this is like Twitter first 6 months, but like on fire, right? It's like 10X that. So if you're not on Clubhouse, you're already behind it, because guess what, man? They're going to be opening this up in March to the world. And everyone at that point in time, we're going to see a flood of people coming in there. So, you know, guys like me, friends that you see like Grant Cardone, you see Damon Johns, you're seeing Ty Lopez, you're seeing, Paris Hilton and I connected the other day, right? You're seeing these people on this platform because they know they want to be ahead of the curve. They want to make sure they can influence, educate, and inspire these audiences, and you don't have to sell, and it's awesome, man. It's being able to not only create opportunity, but we're being able to reach audiences around the world that we've never touched before, and we're being able to help people that really need help. Some of these rooms, you would pay thousands of dollars to have guys like me and our friends in that one room to be able to even listen in. And we are all on this platform right now, sharing freely, and doing everything we can just to be able to share our stories and help with our past and what we've gone through, to be able to hopefully help the people that are in there listening.
Awesome. So, okay, one more question. When you made so much money at such a young age, what do you learn in the process? What were the good things that you learned, and what were the mistakes that you made? Yeah.
Good things that I made a lot of mistakes, and that's why I learned. I mean, you make a lot of money at a young age, you get excited, you spend a lot of money, right? I mean, I remember my first actual million in the bank. I think I lost it faster than I made it, because it was like, oh, I'm over 7 figures now. and now it's, and then it's gone really quick because you start spending it because you don't know what to do. You don't have the right people in place, the right team around you. You just have people that are surrounding you because of the money that you make, right? So you spend a lot more. And this is the one thing, the things that I learned, have the right people around you that have your same values, that don't care if you have money, don't care if you have influence. They're there because they care about you as a human, and they're there to be able to support what your vision for this world is. They're not just there to help you monetize it or to be able to get monetized by being around you.
Yeah. So, like, do you lose it to like do you spend it on like cars or a property or okay?
Bought properties, bought cars, bought lots of things. We fly to Vegas, every month on a plane, back and forth. Go there, spend a couple of $1,000s on a weekend, and come back again. And it's go out in a night. I mean, I remember being in not LA, but Newport Beach, and it wasn't bad that we would pay $1,000 to skip the line to get a pub, and that's before we even bought a drink.
Yeah.
And I look back and I go, God, I'm stupid.
But do you ever miss that lifestyle?
Huh?
Do you ever miss that lifestyle? Like, do you ever think back like, whoa, those were some fun times, man?
I had fun, man. It was good, but I have just as much fun now with the things. I mean, I'm blessed. I've got 2 kids. Yeah, I went through a divorce, but my wife now is amazing. We share the stage a lot together. We share the same passions together. I mean, I'll tell you, my wife, Rachel, and her name is Rachel B. Lee. So, you've got Rachel and Joshua B. Lee, and she's an amazing personal brand strategist that works with us and with other major corporations. And, to be able to live that and be able to do, like, I'm fulfilled, man. I mean, so many times, like, those are empty fulfillments, cars, going out, all that other stuff. It's fleeting. It's there and then it's gone. It's great. It's nice to be able to afford the nice things in life. But in the long run too, excuse my language, but no one cares about your shiny shit. They care about the value that you bring, the value that you show up with, and what you stand for. The right people do. The people that care about your shiny shit shouldn't be in your life anymore because they're there just specifically for that.
So initially when you did marketing and everything, was your message more like shiny shit, or was your message
Yeah, of course, man. Look at my watch, look at my car, like Ty Lopez back in the day. It's like, look, I'm in my car next to my my Lamborghini or my Ferrari or whatever it is in my garage with my books, I mean, I love Ty, but he's changed. There's different things on how we actually market and do it these days. People can see through it now. People know when they see an ad, they know when they're in a funnel, and most times they know when they're in automation. And if I know that, and the people that I'm trying to sell are like me, and I'm trying to have not even sell them, if I'm trying to be able to get them to work with me, I can't put an ad in front of them all the time. I can't put them in an automated funnel because they're the only way they're going to be in that if they choose to, not because they've got tricked into being it. And those were different tactics back then. And that's why I said, man, I'm here to change the game. I'm not letting that stuff go on. I'm here to make this world a better place. And it starts with helping and working with other amazing entrepreneurs, because I tried to change this world on my own. I almost killed myself doing it. I know I have to work with other amazing entrepreneurs like yourself, your listeners, and my clients, because that is the only way. Entrepreneurs have more ability to be able to change this world than most people in this life. And we just went through one of the biggest resets in history. COVID just took us through a reset where whatever we thought the next 40 years was going to be like is now not like that. And now as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as you and I sitting here right now, we have more power than ever in history to be able to change the world and for the next 40 years, to make the next 40 years better than it is now. So that's where I push everyone. You have more power than you ever had because we had this full reset. Take advantage of it and do something that's going to make this world better, not only for us, but for our kids and for our kids' kids. And as marketers, as entrepreneurs, man, we can do that as long as we don't try and keep on going down this whole life spamming and pitching and selling people. If we don't like it, why do we think the rest of the world does? That's what I got, man.
That's true, man. Okay, so if anyone wants to find you on social media, where should they look for you?
Well, of course, you can find me on Clubhouse these days. I usually say, but everywhere. If you look on social media, I'm at the Joshua B. Lee. So that's the Joshua B as in boy, Lee, Lee. Just like you see on the screen here. You can find me across all social media platforms. Joshua B. Lee on LinkedIn. Reach out to me. And the biggest thing I always tell everyone: if you reach out to me on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever it is, I don't ever accept blank connection requests. Tell me you heard me on this podcast, what you learned, what you appreciate about your podcast host here, right? I just want to know the human side of you. So when you reach out to me, tell me something of value about you. Tell me something of value that you learned from this podcast. And I'm looking forward to being able to connect with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like how approachable you are, and I believe everyone on this podcast should definitely go and follow you and just talk to you, and I believe you will reply them. Yeah, just like how you replied me.
That's
All
it,
right.
man.
Thanks so much for this interview, and for those of you watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like this, and then share it with your friends as well, and make sure you follow Joshua on his social media handles.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for listening.